Well, congratulations. You've made it to the end of our program, and now your life can just continue to get more and more joyful.
Absolutely. But it's really important that you recognize that it's not a check one and done. It's
No.
not like, oh, I'm joyful. Just like with our computers, sometimes we have to upgrade our operating system. And it's like that with joy too.
Yeah, we really have to keep at it. And a lot of times in life, I think we want to try to control everything, but there's so many things that are outside of our control. So we really have to learn to live with uncertainty a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's where my personal mantra comes from. Everything is unfolding perfectly.
Yeah, that's a good mantra. And when you first started saying that to me, I was a little skeptical. But then I started to try it. And if you sort of look at things that way, as you do, that things are unfolding perfectly, it's kind of like, well, if it's unfolding perfectly, then who am I to argue?
That's right. Absolutely. Well, and realizing, like you said, there are things that are outside your control. Those things are unfolding perfectly. And the things that are within your control, you're going to unfold them perfectly. So, but there are things that happen in our lives that show up in poorly wrapped packages. And so sometimes we need to look back, and in hindsight, we can see those benefits that they've brought. And that's an intentional practice called benefit finding. And I think it helps to recognize that things have unfolded perfectly in your life when you can look for those benefits.
That helps a lot. And I know there's another great one that you've talked about called disputing.
Yes. So disputing is a technique that's used in cognitive behavioral therapy. And basically what it means is you're looking for examples of things that have happened that are contrary to your thoughts. So basically if you're thinking, you burned dinner, not that that ever happens, but sometimes, and you think, I'm a terrible cook, right? So then you think of examples to the contrary of that. Like, oh, you know what? There was one time that I made this fabulous meal and everyone complimented me on how good it was. And that's a way of disputing your thought that you're a terrible cook.
Yeah, that's a great one too, because we just have the tendency to do that, get stuck there. And sometimes a good friend will dispute it for us.
That's right, yeah.
So it's a way to do that for ourselves. So that's awesome. So continue to keep up the good work and check in with us if we can be of help anytime going forward.
And we have one final activity for you. Take time to reflect on your life.
Notice that there were times when things unfolded in a way that you didn't want, expect, or appreciate in the moment. Yet in hindsight, you can see how it led you to something better than you could have ever imagined.
Write these things and explain to yourself how they unfolded perfectly.
Use disputing and benefit finding to change the way you see these events and to look at them through the lens of positivity.
Thanks so much for letting us guide you to more joy.
Keep at it and enjoy your reboot.